For centuries, ancient Egyptian writings were a mystery. You could find ancient hieroglyphics all over Egypt. The only problem was nobody could figure out how to read them. Could a chance discovery by some French soldiers digging defenses in the sand be the key to unlocking this mystery? You'll find out as we explore 5 events that happened today in history. In 1799, during French General Napoleon Bonaparte's invasion of Egypt, French soldiers discovered the Rosetta Stone, a stone slab that contains an ancient decree written in 3 scripts: ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, Demotic, and ancient Greek. It is one of the most important archaeological discoveries in history, providing the key to deciphering ancient Egyptian writings, as the ability to read those writings had been lost around the same time the Roman Empire fell in the 5th century AD. But the Rosetta Stone's value is not immediately clear. Scholars study it for years, unable to crack the code. Building on groundwork laid by others, Frenchman Jean-François Champon finally solves the puzzle. He announces his breakthrough to the world in 1822. 23 years after the Rosetta Stone was rediscovered by those French soldiers. In the meantime, the Rosetta Stone had passed from French to British hands and is today one of the most prized exhibits in London's British Museum. I had the opportunity to see the Rosetta Stone, along with a host of other objects from all over the world, when Mrs. Lewis and I visited the British Museum in 2022. One of the highlights of our visit was when we overheard 2 people talking about what they were seeing in the museum's vast collection. One of them said, "So this museum is basically all the stuff we nicked from everybody." A pretty accurate statement. In 1099, after a 7-week siege during the First Crusade, Christian knights and soldiers from Europe captured Jerusalem from Muslim Fatimids, who had seized the city a year earlier from Muslim Seljuks. The Seljuk Turks had taken Jerusalem from Egyptian Fatimids in 1071. Jerusalem was, however, a major pilgrimage site for Christians. Although open to them under the Fatimids, the Seljuks restricted Christian access to the city and its holy sites and desecrated the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, providing an impetus for the First Crusade. When the Crusaders take the city in 1099, they slaughter thousands of the city's Muslim and Jewish inhabitants. The Christians control the city for the next 88 years. In 1958, 44-year-old Julia Lennon is killed when she is hit by a car driven by an off-duty police officer while walking in Woolton, a suburb of Liverpool, England. Her 17-year-old son John soon co-founds the Beatles. He writes several songs about her during his career, including Julia and Mother. John also names his son Julian after her. In 1971, U.S. President Richard Nixon shocks the nation by announcing, on live TV and radio, that he will visit communist China the following year. It reflects a dramatic shift in U.S. foreign policy that leads to a gradual normalizing of relations between the U.S. and the People's Republic of China. The visit comes 7 months later, in February 1972, and lasts a week. It includes a sit-down with Chairman Mao, whose health was in decline. In fact, unbeknownst to anyone outside of party insiders, he had been hospitalized for several weeks before Nixon's arrival. Nixon and the First Lady visit 3 cities and even go to the Great Wall. 7 years later, under President Jimmy Carter, the U.S. and China established full diplomatic relations. In 1983, Nintendo releases the Family Computer, the company's first ever home video game console, in Japan. It is redesigned as the Nintendo Entertainment System and released in North America in October 1985, going on to sell over 60 million copies worldwide. I think my favorite original Nintendo game was Ice Hockey. What was your favorite? Let me know in the comments. Which of these events did you find most interesting? Let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget to check out Today in History in my Teachers Pay Teachers store. There's a link in the description. I would also love it if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. And you can see more great Mr. Lewis videos right over here. Thanks for watching.